Hello, everyone, and welcome into your Twin Flame reading. This is for Sunday, April 21st, and I'll be taking a look at what are the energies for the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and for the connection in general. So we will go through each one of them, and as always, take only what resonates. So this will be tapping into the experience of some of the twins out there. So it's not necessarily that everybody's going through the exact same experience at the same time. So take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. I will be doing some additional readings this week, the message from your person, and is this your person, pick a pile, things like that. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos post. Also, I am working on a new oracle deck that I've been creating, and so I'm part of the way through it right now. Hopefully I'll have that one done this week to be able to include in one of those message from your person readings, because that's kind of the theme of it. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at what wants to come through for Divine Feminine. All right, and this is the push from the universe. We have Knight of Cups in reverse, currently showing up in the wheel in reverse. In the 5D soul space, it's the Tower. And then the challenge space, we have the Lovers. In the advice from Spirit, we have Four of Swords. And in the likely outcome, we have Page of Cups. So looking at each of these pieces on their own, the overall energy, the push from the universe. So this will be the energy that's pushing down on Divine Feminine right now. We have Knight of Cups in reverse. So there's like this air of disappointment and kind of like bad mood, frustration, like that sort of energy is what's pushing really heavy right now on Divine Feminine. And then how the Divine Feminine is showing up right now in the 3D space is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's kind of like the sense of setbacks and delays is how Divine Feminine is showing up. So those obviously are intertwined because of the fact that there's this like disappointment, like this energy of disappointment. So it just kind of feels like everything's not really proceeding on the timeline that Divine Feminine is thinking. But remember, part of this too is also, I think it's a little bit of this overeager type of energy from Divine Feminine, like wanting to try to control the process. And so some of that is a matter of needing to let go and surrender and having that faith in the divine that things are unfolding the way they need to. In the soul space, with the Tower coming through for Divine Feminine, it's like things are kind of being leveled at the soul space level for Divine Feminine. Like that there was this construct or this idea that this is how things are supposed to go, and that's being torn down. So it's kind of this whole period of rebirth for Divine Feminine about what does this journey actually mean, because it's not going the way that Divine Feminine thought it was going to go. So the challenge right now is the Lovers. And so this, for a lot of Divine Feminines, this could be a third party situation. So when you look at this card in this deck, most of the decks, the Lovers card, there's only two figures on it. In this one, there's actually three. So this is, like I said, third party situations that, Divine Feminine is watching the masculine is watching this other figure, but this other figure is about to turn around and looks like lash out and do something rather unsavory. So it seems like this is the challenge right now. It doesn't necessarily look like, I guess for Divine Feminine, there's that sense of my masculine is turning their back on me. But if you notice in this one, I don't know how close I can zoom in and have it actually focus. He's not actually looking at this figure. He's like looking away from her, and she's not looking at him either. She's looking off in the distance. So it's kind of that sense of Divine Feminine is waiting for masculine to break out of a karmic situation, third party situation, and she's kind of closed off. She has the cloak around her, and he's just kind of like, it's almost like holding on because that's what he's supposed to do, but he's not actually looking at her and she's not actually looking at him. So that seems to be what a lot of this message is for divine feminine. There's, disappointment that this is even still going on. The advice from spirit with the Four of Swords, that's all about healing and like deep thought and recuperation and just resting and focusing. Some of that is focusing inward, like stop focusing on this because this is what's being torn down. The thoughts or expectations that divine feminine had as to how this scenario is going to play out, what this looks like, what the timing of it looks like, because right now in the 3D, it's showing up that there's just setbacks, there's delays, and like this misfortune. And it's kind of like, oh my gosh, why? So that's creating this sense of just frustration and, that energy, that bad mood energy. So part of the key to this for divine feminine is stop focusing on the frustration part. And yes, that's the energy that's pushing on you, but how do you transmute that into something better, something different, something higher serving for you? And if divine feminine is able to get that deep healing, that recuperation, that rest, then the likely outcome is Page of Cups. So that's, it's kind of a little bit of that naive energy. It's a small offer. It's not the big grand master proposal, but it's in the traditional deck, it's the page is there with that fish, offering a single fish in a cup to the person. So it's almost like that that innocence that I also always get the visual of like a little boy picking a dandelion to give it to a girl, so that's kind of the air of that. So if divine feminine can work on their healing, then there will be some small success there. So underneath the deck, the energy that we have coming in, apparently I picked 4 for that level. So the first level of energy coming in, we have Temperance in reverse, we have Strength, and then we have Page of Pentacles in reverse. So the energy coming in, this is like subconscious or like next level coming in, it is Strength. So it's persevering through this. Yes, there's been disappointments and setbacks. Temperance in reverse, though, is this energy of like imbalance and excess and a little bit of like avoidance and recklessness type of energy coming in. We also have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, which is about like an immaturity and a lack of direction. So some of it is a cautionary word to divine feminine that some of this energy is coming in. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction to this situation and go off and do something crazy. Have the strength to, work on transmuting some of this energy with this imbalance and excess. With that coming in, it's almost like if you feel like things have been imbalanced, use your strength to help try to draw them into balance. Don't make it get so drastic that it swings the other way. The next level of energy coming in after that. So we have the World, we have Six of Pentacles, we have Ace of Cups, and the High Priestess in reverse. So those are the next 4 coming in. So the World is completing a cycle. It's passing that test. It's whatever, that lesson is that you're supposed to be learning. It's passing that. With our Six of Pentacles energy, that's this very charitable giving type of energy, and then having this feeling of, oh, my cup is running over. Like you have that creativity and the inspiration and the love, all of that coming in. The High Priestess in reverse, though, is about some uncertainty and secrets. So this is also, I guess that cautionary tale of make sure that you're not, that what you're doing, that you're behaving in a way and sending out the energy in a way that you want for it to come back in to you. So like I said, don't let the delays and setbacks and kind of some of this type of tower energy and the lover situation, don't let that push you into a space that you don't want to be sitting in energetically. So also here with the challenge, there is the lover's situation. That's also about making a choice. So it is that sense of making the choice. Like divine feminine needs to decide, are they going to stay in this situation while this plays out? What are they going to do? But, heal. The first thing you need to do is heal. So some of that, once you can work on the healing, then you will have the world, you will be able to close out certain cycles that have maybe been plaguing you. All right. Next level, let's take a look at what is going on with divine masculine. Let's see what energies want to come through for divine masculine. All right. Here we go. The push from the universe. We have our Ace of Cups in reverse. In the 3D, showing up as the Nine of Pentacles in the soul space, showing up as the Four of Swords. So that's good there. The challenge is Five of Pentacles in reverse. Advice from Spirit is the Magician in reverse, and likely outcome is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So if you watch the channel regularly, you know this card when it comes up, because for a while in the daily reads we were having it like crazy. So it's interesting that this that we have our Four of Pentacles in reverse. So we'll get to that in a minute. The push that's on the divine masculine right now is this Ace of Cups in reverse. So there's definitely this energetic push of feeling unloved and this deep sense of loss with the divine masculine right now, and creative blocks. How they're showing up with this Nine of Pentacles. So that is there is a sense of reward to it, but it's also this sense of independence and self-reliance. And so it's almost like they're feeling unloved. And if this story is all going together and a divine masculine is stuck in a situation where they feel like they have to choose between the karmic and the divine feminine, it's almost like this feeling of being unloved, like that's what's pushing in on them. And so then they're showing up. It's like, well, fine, I'm just gonna be independent. I don't want to have to deal with any of that. How they're showing up in the soul space is the Four of Swords. So that's about that healing and that deep rest and recuperation. So it looks like the divine masculine is working on their healing in the soul space, and that obviously needs to happen before that starts to show in the 3D. So it's almost like in the 3D, it's this continued wearing of a mask, putting on a facade that, oh, everything's fine. I don't want to deal with it, even though this is how I'm feeling. This is the energy all around me, as I'm feeling unloved. I'm feeling this sense of loss, loss that this situation is deteriorating, loss that they're not with their feminine, but it's like, well, I'm just going to put on the happy face, pretend everything's fine, because if I can pretend everything's fine, then everything is fine, right? So that's kind of like how they're showing up to the rest of the world. In the challenge space, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the challenge is moving on and overcoming these obstacles and adversity and forgiveness. So one of the big things working on their healing, not only is it forgiveness towards the karmic situation, forgiving, maybe it's past traumas, past wounds, if it's having to do with generational issues, having to do with family issues, parent issues, but it's also about forgiving themselves, because as the healing happens, going through layers and layers of emotional wounding and all of that, there is a realization that, wait a second, I'm not totally free of any sort of blame here. I participated, whether they were very actively contributing to their current situation, or whether their fears, their uncertainties, their self-limiting beliefs, their whatever baggage was keeping them from speaking out against the situation. They're starting to, as they work on their healing, they're starting to realize that they were a contributor to their current situation, either by actively bringing it to what it was, or by passively allowing it to happen and not standing up for themselves, not speaking up for themselves. So some of the forgiveness that's the challenge right now is forgiving themselves. The advice from spirit, there's the magician in reverse. So there's been a lack of, magician in reverse is like there's this lack of planning and wasted talents and being manipulated. So that's the push from spirit, is saying, look, that's what's happened before. And the result of that is that you keep overgiving and overgiving to compensate for not addressing the situation. So, because this Four of Pentacles in reverse, like I said, it comes up on the channel a lot in terms of the daily energy, and this is that energy of, well, if I just try a little bit harder, if I just hang in there a little bit longer, if I just give more energy or more of my resources to a situation, well, then of course it'll be fine, because and that's I'll call it a defense mechanism, or it's a false belief sometimes that's based on wounding of, well, I don't want to stop putting in the effort, because then that's saying I'm a failure. Or, I'm afraid to face the reality that the situation isn't what I want it to be. Even if I have to do 100% of the work, whether that's, in a job, or obviously in this case, it's a relationship. Since we're talking about twin flame dynamics, it's like that sense of, well, if I just keep putting in more effort, but if the other person's not putting in any effort, is it really a relationship, or is it just one person acting like they're in a relationship and the other one is not? So this energy here for the divine masculine, when it's saying advice from spirit, being the magician in reverse, it's kind of like spirit is trying to tell the divine masculine, look at what this behavior has gotten you. This behavior has kept you looping through this dynamic. It's kept you looping, and it's making you feel like, well, I just have to put in more time, more energy. So underneath the deck, here's the energy that we have. It's interesting, actually, both of them have, Page of Cups was the likely outcome there. So this next level of energy coming in for divine masculine, we have Death, the Emperor, and Four of Wands in reverse. So this obviously being a twin flame card with the 1111, but in the reverse, that's about family discord, lack of teamwork. There's this self-doubt. There's this disharmony on the home front. So the energy that's coming in is there needs to be an ending to something, and it's like the divine masculine needs to be the one, energetically, that leads that ending that's going to bring about the change on the home front. Because this card, generically, when we're not talking about twin flames, it's about, domestic bliss, or in the reverse, it's about family discord and lack of that bliss on the home front. So this next level of energy coming in is telling divine masculine that this situation, if the home front, look at it like that, if the home front is that karmic situation, divine masculine needs to be the one that changes that dynamic, that ends something there, because that's keeping them out of alignment. The energy after that is going to be the Queen of Swords in reverse. So there's it is a little bit of that energy of like bitterness or cynicism, but there is going to be some small progress, like a small offer. There is that little bit of that light at the end of the tunnel. And then with the Seven of Swords in reverse, this is about confession and remorse. So there's kind of this bitterness that comes, as this ending plays out. The next level coming through is, this is almost like having to confess and apologize to maybe to both parties about how everything has gone. And, there is going to be a silver lining to that. That's kind of that next little step of moving forward. So, the innocence that comes with Page of Cups is kind of like, that's that message, that small offer of hope. It's not a big grand thing, but it's the beginning of it. It's the building blocks of it. So that's the energy coming through for divine masculine. Now we'll take a look at the connection in general, and then we'll pull some oracle cards. So Let's take a look here. Oh, that is really strange. Let's see what those are. I don't know if you caught that, but somehow my decks got intermixed. So I just pulled the first two there. We'll see how this plays out since I have two different decks interspersed here. Interesting that it was Page of Cups in reverse. So that's a little bit of this like immaturity, because there are some lies, some things, what's happening by the dark of night. So there's a little bit of running around, that's happening. Seems like that's on the masculine side. Let's take a look at the connection. I'll move these two off of here. Okay. All right. So for the connection in general, the push there is the King of Cups in reverse. How it's showing up is the Sun. In the 5D, it's the Fool energy. The challenge on the connection right now is the Hermit. Advice from Spirit for the connection is the Seven of Pentacles, and the likely outcome is the Seven of Swords. So energetically, the push on the connection right now is there's a lot of like worry and stress and manipulation on the actual connection, which as we lace it together with the story that we just heard for what's going on with the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, it's easy to see how that's kind of the energy that's pushing down on the connection right now. How it's showing up in the 3D though, with the Sun, there is this opportunity to kind of start fresh. So, the Fool is about new beginnings, and the Sun is about your blessings, but it's also in here, it's the Phoenix, which the Phoenix is what's rising up from the ashes. So there is this energy of, okay, whatever things were before, just burn it down and start again so that the connection can rise up from the ashes. It's kind of also that push of let go of whatever issues were plaguing the connection in the past and start fresh, because that's what's being pushed in the 5D as well, is that leap of faith, that new fresh start. The challenge right now is the Hermit. So the Hermit is about that quiet reflection and a lot of soul searching, and it's kind of antisocial because it's such a deep, personal journey of trying to figure out what your path is, what is your mission here, and that kind of gives it a little bit of this lonely feel to it. So the advice from Spirit here with our Seven of Pentacles is it's growth minded. It's about reaping those benefits. It's about, you've planted all of these seeds, now pull it all together. But then we have the likely outcome here with this Seven of Swords. This is about lies and deception. So, with the connection. So let's get a little bit more clarification on that. Let's see, let's pull two more cards and see what other messages want to come through about that, because that's really kind of this energy of, oh, beautiful new beginnings, and then we have lies and deception. So we have Ace of Pentacles and we have the Page of Cups. Oh my gosh, the Page of Cups energy is screaming. We had Page of Cups over here, we had it here, we have it here, and we had it in there. So there's definitely this energy, this like almost naive, dreamy energy. And then Ace of Pentacles is about like a new opportunity, a new start. And so some of it is, I'm just gonna say, it's gonna be this push of a new start, because this will start to creep up as you're looking at reaping the benefits of, what have you been trying to sow within the relationship, but then there's going to be some other energy that's going to try to push that off track again. So I would say likely if there's unresolved third party issues, that energy is going to try to push the connection off track again. But the clarifier is, needing to work on that fresh start, new beginning. Like, don't let the past keep chiming in to the connection. So let's take a look here at what other energy we've got. So we've got your dreams need a practical plan. You're very close to achieving your goal, and the energy is gaining momentum. So part of it is a matter of there needs to be a plan. One of the things, and I think it was this, yeah. So in the advice from Spirit, when it came to the divine masculine, was okay. You've seen what happens when you have no plan, and because the magician in reverse is failing to plan. So if you're trying to move the connection in that direction, how do you, like, into a growth mindset, into a union type of scenario, how do you get there? What is that plan? You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to wake up and see what the day has. Like, you're going to have to take steps to plan for it. But then there is this sense of, getting close to the goals, and like the energy and is gaining momentum. So things are moving in the right direction. The connection level, you have this push for new beginnings and rising up from the ashes. So that's definitely pushing strong, and it's gaining momentum. All right. So then we have a new door is opening shortly. Look for the beauty in the rain. No one cares, quit your whining. So that's kind of like the whole stop making excuses, and really, really focus on getting yourself out of it. So some of this is, if you're stuck in a rut, don't just keep saying, I'm stuck in a rut, I'm stuck in a rut. Like, the no one cares, quit your whining is the, okay, but you've got to do something about it. So the energetically part of the push for the divine feminine was strength. And so that goes along with this, like, don't keep lamenting, oh, woe is me. Like, come up with, what is your plan? Your dream needs a practical plan. What are you going to do to change your situation if you don't like where it's at? All right. Then we've got higher conscious awareness, increase your frequency. Mission in motion, honor your agreement. And aligning with abundance, unification. So some of that is about, and a lot of this message here about increasing your frequency, I would say, goes towards divine feminine, about having the strength. Like, don't keep getting caught in, but I wanted things to look like this. They were supposed to look like this. Accept where they are, and then work on how do you increase your vibration from here? How do you increase your frequency? This honor your agreement. Do some soul searching to try to ascertain what was your mission. Like, you have your own mission, but then you also have a joint mission. So this mission in motion, what is your agreement? What did you agree that you're here to do? And how do you move in that direction? And then with this unification, aligning with abundance, rather than focusing on what is it that's missing, what is it that you don't have, focus on where are the blessings coming through? Where can I look for those blessings? Look for the beauty in the rain. Looking at the abundance there to be able to say, okay, this might be a challenge, but what is the challenge showing me? How is that showing me my abundance of strength, my whatever other abundance you're looking for? So this was the overall message for the twin flames that was coming through today. As I had mentioned, though, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. Obviously, not all twins are at the exact same point in their journey. So if this is not where you are in your journey, then maybe on one of the next channeled messages here, it'll come through for where you are. But as I mentioned at the beginning, I'll be doing some additional videos like the Is This Your Person? Message from Your Person, Pick a Pile, things like that. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted when those new videos post on the channel. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.